pours, right? No heavy pours. You want a heavy pour?
Maybe it's cellar aged.
Let's start this over.
Dang, that's a big old cafe.
I bet you the top around the neck and they fillet it probably missed.
We
The
love
biggest fish I ever caught.
Say fillet was what's the biggest fish?
Catfish.
Catfish? Okay.
34 pounds?
Indeed.
Well, fitting the fucking cooler.
We're live.
Are we?
Easy on the link.
It's all good. Yes, we are live though. Yes, we are live. It's a great time. I mean, as folks are joining in, hi everyone. Happy Whiskey Wednesday to you all. Hey, what a beautiful time. What a beautiful time. What a beautiful time. All right.
Instagram
We are here, folks.
It shows it right there.
Okay.
It is Whiskey Wednesday once again, coming to you live from Chat Flickers right here on Capitol Hill's Barracks Row, historic Barracks Row, Washington, D.C. Here joined, oh man, Nat, Alonzo, and Mike are in the house. What a glorious time. Mike dug into his stash and bought some goodies, and then Alonzo just happened to have another little goodie to add to the lineup, but we're repping up Maker's Mark specialty selections tonight, everybody. And what a good time it's going to be. Looking forward to it. Yeah, there was a little bit of back and forth tonight about Maker's Mark, and so it's sure to be a neat tasting with opinions from both ends of the spectrum.
I think we might put some opinions to rest. That's my thought.
Okay, absolutely.
Wow.
Well, we're gonna see.
Set the
We're gonna
record
see.
straight.
We're gonna
Should not
see.
work.
But yeah, the lineup is fun. Gosh, it includes 2024 Hearts Release Wood Finishing Series, a 2025 The Keeper's Release Wood Finish Series, Cellar Aged 2024 Limited Edition, the Maker's Mark 46 French Oak Cask Strength. And once again, that last one is called what now, Zo?
Maker's Mark Private Selection.
The Private Selection Maker's Mark. Oh man, it's going to be fun, folks. Gents, I'm going to start with a little water rinse because I haven't done that yet. But just to start things out, how y'all been doing, man?
I'm good.
Y'all
Got
been good?
Ralph saying hello, Mike, Alonzo, and the two other dudes.
Wow. Hilarious.
We're getting some first name shout outs.
I'm happy
Yeah,
that
love.
I'm happy about this rain,
Oh
calming this pollen down. Thank
Yeah.
Jesus. I haven't had to take an allergy pill in like 2 days now.
Clean that car off a little bit, because I know you don't clean it.
Not at all.
Yes, sir.
True, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Mother Nature gives me free water.
Can't beat that.
Heard that.
But things are going well at Lost Whiskey Club, Matt.
For sure. Yeah. Man, just hanging out, dumping barrels, Yeah. That's about
Where's
it.
that good old food at that you smoked? And
It's gonna be June 14th at Logan Circle.
No, I'm talking about the food. But last week when you were running late and you said I'm gonna bring you food for you.
It didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
It went in I ate it all. It's okay. Well, Ellie ate some too, actually. So you can blame her.
Shout out to Ellie.
You can blame Ellie for eating the food. So,
Indeed,
all
shout out
right.
to Ellie out there. Indeed,
Mike?
indeed.
What about you? Anything new? Anything exciting?
Nope, just way on the grindstone. I feel like
There
this
you go.
part of my life, working for a company that's remote, I just spend the majority of my time in meetings. I think that's what they just pay me for at this rate. It's just attend meetings. But
Hey,
looking forward to a long weekend coming up and my birthday coming up in a few
there
weeks.
you go.
Nice.
Wow,
For
when's your
sure.
birthday, buddy?
The 26th, Memorial Day.
Nice. Absolutely. Well,
I
we'll
had
have to
to-
keep that in mind
I had
and
to dig in the whiskey stash.
celebrate with that Whiskey Wednesday. Indeed,
Yeah, there you go.
indeed. All right, so let me go ahead and finish up this water.
Then dive into this first bottle.
We'll start diving into the first bottle. Absolutely. It's
So,
gonna be great.
I
Just
know-
Let me know which one this one is, though.
This is the private selection.
This is the private selection.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Good.
And I have honestly, I don't remember what this tastes like.
Oh,
Not a clue. It's been a while ago.
Okay.
It must have been good for me to get it.
We can look a little bit about kind of what it should taste like based off of the finishing staves.
Okay.
So for anyone that's not familiar with private selection, there's always a blend of 5 different staves that will be incorporated with the private selection. So in this case, we have 1 baked American pure stave, which will deliver notes of light sweet honey and vanilla with an oak finish. 2 staves of the seared French cuvee, which will enhance the texture and mouthfeel with warm caramel molasses notes in a long finish.
Fancy.
5 of the Maker's Mark 46, which we'll kind of get into a little bit later on as well, which has dark fruits and baking spice. And then lastly, with the roasted French Mondant, which is hints of milk chocolate, dried fruit, nuts, coffee, and a long finish.
And what proof is this
Indeed.
bottle at?
We're at
109.
109.
109.
Well, this is the newer bottle, folks. The bottle that though has just a little bit different,
22.
but it has the various staves. There are 5 of them.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it'll tell you maybe how many staves of each go into each bottling or each production. So yeah, this is a great start. The
Some nice
Maker's
nose
Mark
on it.
private selection we have here.
Some cinnamon. I think this bottle probably been open maybe about 8 or 9 months. Maybe
Okay.
8 or 9 months.
And you say the proof on this one is what now?
109
109 on the dot.
Yep.
109 on the dot.
Yep.
All right. And just so that we have an idea, what are the various staves for this one? There's one that's left out, right? What was that?
That
There's
was
one left out?
the toasted French spice. 0
Okay,
of
so
those
no
staves.
toasted French
Yeah.
spice on this one. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
On the cinnamon note, yeah, I'm getting a lot of baking spice. A little bit of like allspice. It's got like a little bit of a not quite rice spice, but a little bit of like a pepperiness to it, which is nice.
Now, of course, we have to champion Maker's Mark as being one of the kind of classic wheated bourbon producers, right?
Sure.
Of course, I'm a huge wheated bourbon fan. I love them. So already,
It's your
the
night.
nose, yeah, it's quite nice. Nice creamy, kind of flavor profile and hints of toast, cinnamon, as you mentioned, right? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Absolutely. Zoe, what are you thinking, man?
I'm getting something herbaceous for me on the nose. Something
Herbaceous.
it's a blend of like the flower with the leaf. So like floral but or herbaceous. Like it went like rose sage.
Okay.
Like a blend of like something floral with something herbal.
Yeah.
You just said, yeah.
Nice. Well, I was trying to transition. It didn't work out well. I was trying to
That was his way of being like,
There we go. That was the transition I meant to
Whoa, whoa.
because it was your turn, Matt. See?
Okay.
It was your turn. Do you agree with that?
No,
There was something kind of herbal on that, though, right? A little bit.
yeah, as far as
little
the
bit
whole
green.
the leaf and the flower, I'm not tracking, but maybe I just don't have the exquisite palate or nose that you have, so it's out of my pay grade. But I do get a little tea characteristic to it, but very minor. I mean, I do think the majority is this.
This is background. Well,
Yeah, this vanilla cinnamon baking spice going on. Go
Yeah.
ahead, press that. Oh,
Yeah, go for a
everyone,
sip.
it looked like almost
Go for it.
everyone was about to, and so I was like, before we go, this weird awkward silence.
Yeah, there's but I'm really kind of diving into that herbaceousness that you spoke of, right? Which herb did you mention?
I can't put my finger on
You
the
You
herb.
didn't.
Okay.
I was just putting the
No,
I
I
was
know.
just putting
but
that-
make
Oh, you
it
did?
funnier to me.
that note in the air.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know what herb, just an herb.
It'll come to me.
I did
But I
get
like
the,
that.
I did get the tea, maybe
Yeah.
it's tea and that. You know what I'm saying?
But I can't get that specific necessarily, I think, on most herbs. Like, there's not a ton of herbs that like specifically I get when it comes to whiskey. Like sure, we'll talk about like you may hear like rosemary or sage or something like that. But to me, I wouldn't say it's a very long list of me for herbs that I like often pinpoint. And so I think I'm in a similar boat as you. I can't pinpoint it, so I always classify as like a tea character.
There's a lot of herbs I would
But-
not want to taste in my
Well,
whiskey
sure,
also
sure.
too. So I'm glad that list
Yeah.
is short.
Indeed, but kind of maybe a dry basil or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, I think maybe a dry basil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
but I think that really helps the complexity of it, you know, kind of being as forward and maybe as simple of a kind of creamy vanillin, you know, corn forward expression. Kind of
Yeah,
having that secondary flavor profile due to the state aging gives it a complexity that isn't necessarily the norm that you see kind of across the board.
Maybe
So I think that's
maybe some
pretty
light clove, like this
Yeah.
very finished
close.
Yeah.
light
Yep,
clove
yep,
on
yep.
the
Again, that
outside of the
wasn't
palate
baked,
for me.
The thing that's interesting is that, I mean, these are going to be all high proof bourbons, but the mouthfeel on all of them are just really fantastic. Like, it lingers with you a little bit. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, which is nice.
which it mentions in this.
Exactly.
One of the staves specifically increases the viscosity and mouthfeel, or that's the purpose.
The French
Mhm.
cuvee.
French cuvee. There you go.
Mm-hmm. It's super solid, y'all. You know, we're at 109 proof here. I think the proof point is carried quite nicely. It's enough intensity to really carry the flavor, but you don't get, you know, any burn kind of on the back end at all. Everything kind of stays right in the mid palate flavor wise, including the alcohol. At 109, I think they deliver it quite nicely. You do see the structure
Yeah, on the palate.
of the various oaks, you know, that are used, the various finishings and all. You might get a little dehydrated because of that part, right?
Yeah,
You know, it
yeah.
like sucks all the moisture,
Very
right?
tannic.
Yeah. You get a lot of tannins there in that. I'm enjoying starting with this one. It could be fantastic as that evening sipper, that sip amongst, you know, a flight of whiskeys.
Mm-hmm.
It would be interesting to see, though, consuming this one alone, like over a longer period of time.
Oh.
You know, just as it is right now, there's a lot of kind of structure and tannic character that might become just a little bit more overwhelming in time. We'll see, but that's the only real critique that I have of it.
And for me, I do agree with that. And this isn't a critique, but when we first poured it on the nose, I did notice a little ethanol from the alcohol, but it kind of blew off pretty quickly. And I didn't notice it on the palate. But on my first time going to nose it right after it had been in the glass, I was like, oh man, like you definitely notice it's 109 proof. But then, you know, let it sit, take your sip. But it was just more, I think, surprising with it having been open for as long as it has,
Yeah.
with as much gone and stuff, to have that initially. But not necessarily a critique, so it's just for the first 90 seconds of being in my glass, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's start it off, man. What we're going to do as far as rating that bad boy, gents. Starting with you, Mike.
I'll start first. So, I really love just how rich, like the oak notes on it. Very, very smooth, approachable. We talked about the proof earlier being not anything that's like overwhelming, but gives you that like warmth on it. I think this is a solid 7.25. And this is what I've seen with the number of Maker's Mark store picks. They're consistent. I have rarely found one that I hated. And this is very much in line with just a really great product. Normally a very approachable price point for a store pick. If you ever find one, you know, around local area, definitely worth picking up for sure.
Mm-hmm. Nice. How about you, Zoe?
them tannins got you.
I'm a little in the balance. I don't know if it's so much tannin or it's a palate warmer. It's no intensity like when you're swallowing your sip, like no burn in the chest.
Right.
But it gives my palate a lot of, like, it heats up. Not a burn, but it heats up. I think that kind of distorts some of the flavors or
Okay.
finish for me because of the
Sure.
warming on the palate. A lot of oak structure there. I think I sit solid at 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Matt, so on you, brother.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with everything that's been said. One of the great things about having this many people and, you know, kind of everything's been said that I felt like or wanted to say. So I am going to call it a 7 flat also. I'll agree with so.
I think it's a
Yeah.
good everyday sip. I like it.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, for me, I'm going to match Mike at 7.25. I think that there's a lot of potential in this bottle to be something that is worthy of a Maker's Mark, being within a Maker's Mark kind of collection. It does skew maybe a little heavy in the oak realm, a few sips in. And I do think that many times wheated bourbons can do that. So you have to be a little careful with wheated bourbons and how much oak you're attempting to marry them with, just because it can get a little more structured, a little more tannic. This one might just be over the cup just a little bit. So I give it a 7.25 because it's just out of balance. But it had the potential, maybe with other series, with different staves or what have you, to find some level of balance because the quality is there underneath, right? The quality is there, and I like that they, take a chance to do what they're doing with it. But some of these may skew at 7.75 to 8, if the balance is right. So 7.25 for me, and gosh, we know it's a great time when we're all pretty close on that first little rating there. Yeah, we're only a quarter point away, so that is our rating for Maker's Mark Private Selection. It is at 109 proof. It's the stave selections. You can choose 5 different staves to macerate in this product or macerate in the Maker's Mark whiskey. And this one has no French spice, correct?
Yep. It's
Yeah.
the toasted French spice.
Yeah, 0 toasted French spice. It has some of the others. So yeah, fun stuff.
Sure.
Indeed. Mike gave it a 7.25, Alonzo 7, Matt 7, and myself, Burnie, 7.25.
Oh yeah.
All right, great. Well,
All right,
water
Mike,
rinse time. Let's go ahead and
I think we all
hydrate
did
a little
that,
bit.
man.
All right, I guess I'm behind once again, huh?
Shout out Whiskey here for joining through.
Whiskier,
Mr. Beard.
what's going on, sir?
Bring
I let
that
Mike pour
Michter
this.
10 through, Drew.
Indeed. Now,
Okay, Mike,
now
sorry.
this
we're
one,
rolling.
what are we doing now?
I go
Yeah,
24. Okay.
Hey, ever since Drew, we had that Michter. That's good. I'm on a Michter's watch now. I had some Michters on my bar. I got
You
Michters.
looking for that PFG?
I got Michters.
Bombers?
I want that too, but that Michters 10 bourbon. I got one. I got my own one.
Oh,
You know,
Mike, what's the proof?
This one's at 112.
like the R&B group. Nothing, man. You wouldn't get that one, man. I'm sorry.
All right. You know, so
I won't wait for you.
you can leave it.
All right,
Wow, that
folks.
smells good.
This is the Maker's
No,
Mark
easy.
2024, the Hearts Release Wood Finishing Series at 112 proof. And already the crowd is saying it smells so delicious.
I'm getting nothing but love from Makers now.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay. Oh, yeah. I will do so. I still have to do some
brown
production,
sugar.
sir.
Just
So
I'm still-
the story behind this started in 2019. They started a limited release called the Wood Finishing Series, and there was a number of different ones where they were experimenting with different kinds of oak staves at different periods of entry of proof point, and it was like a two bottle release series that they went from 2019 all the way to 2023. And it was suspected for a long time that they were going to be done. So when they came out in 2024 with this new version of the Wood Finishing Series, It was a once a year release, and it was all going to be about really like the story of Maker's Mark. So this one was, from what I've read on it, it was selected out of a number of different staves from their distillery team. So they pulled members of their distillery team to find like what was a profile that was their release. Again, the heart release. And as you can see from some of the notes, it's extremely sweet on the nose. Like
Definitely.
really
Butterscotch,
rich,
really rich.
candied pecans, maple, like strong caramelized sugar,
That butterscotch
creme
was crazy.
brulee, like absolutely fantastic on the nose.
Wow. This is really Werther's. This is really
Yeah,
Werther's.
yeah.
I say that, we say that, but this
Yeah.
really gives me that.
Mhm.
This one's up there with any of the ones you are already sipping.
Yeah, definitely warm flavors here. Toasts, like sweet candied Werther's, like that butterscotch caramel. 112 proof points, right? That you get a little volatility in the nose, but nothing that's offensive. Of course, that wheated mash bill definitely shines.
For sure.
Some clove or anise on the back palate.
Yeah.
The same as I was getting here. A little stronger with this one. It's the same thing I was getting, but stronger with this one. It's definitely
I get-
outer palate.
Yeah. I get like a really unique nuttiness to it, not kind of like a typical like Jim Beam peanut, but like
Yeah.
almost like a pecan, almond, but like the kind of like sweet and candied nuts you get around Christmas time. Like,
Sure.
it's really
But-
rich on that.
One where like the nutty flavor isn't as strong as like a
Correct.
peanut or
Yeah.
something. I
Yeah.
can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, that's solid. That's super solid, right?
Sipping Brother Dre.
I get like some dry,
Brother Dre in the house. Come on, cuz.
some dry raisinated characters. Not
Okay.
so much like the sweet side of Armagnac and Cognac, but a drier raisinated.
Yeah, dry, kind of concentrated, dehydrated.
I see like that walnut, but like the not the shell, but the husk between the shell and the nut. How it gives you like that dryness and that structure.
Yep.
Pause.
There you go. Hey, wow.
I hope
Is that
Dre
good?
was still in here for that.
Yeah, right.
I hope he
right.
heard that.
I hope-
He is here. I
for
hope he
sure.
heard that.
For
I hope
sure.
he wasn't.
Indeed. He might still be
Sipping Brother
taking care
Dre.
of business. Just chiming in.
He heard. He
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah,
Some things never change.
for sure. All right, but makers. Hey, shout out the makers.
Shout out to 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to the heart release.
I can't wait to see the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like it's relatively tannic on the finish and not as tannic as the first one was.
Yeah.
But definitely still a dry finish. And I mean, yeah, I think the palate definitely leans not as sweet as you would expect from the nose, which is kind of nice. To have this real rich butterscotchy nose, but then on the palate, I can see a little clove, a little less of the sweetness showing through on the palate.
Yeah, the spices are there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of got it backwards though. For me, I got more. It's more tannic with this one than the first one for me.
Oh, okay. My bad.
really?
I thought you were talking nose to palate, but it just
And this one, it's less of a palate warmer, so it
Mhm.
allows some of the flavors to stay on the palate longer than this one did.
Gotcha.
A little more imbalanced to me than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
A little
A
more
little more imbalanced.
imbalanced.
Okay.
Imbalance.
Yeah,
A little more balanced.
balance. No, you're good. You're good. I wasn't calling you out. I was making sure I understood. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Good to have clarification. Yep.
Yeah. I know I like to make fun of Pokemon. I wasn't.
I feel like I was.
That's an
I feel like I was.
honest
I feel like my words were separate, but they
Yeah,
were
I got you.
together.
Yeah. I can see it though.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one.
I'll say this one. Sip. Each sip probably becomes a little more balanced, right?
Mhm.
They flavors start folding into one another,
Yeah.
but definitely more of the spicy woods on this one. It's
Yeah.
tannic, but there's kind of a richer, spicy toast in this one, in the finish especially.
It drinks
For me.
more like it has a little rye in it.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You would not think it's the same mash bill as the first one necessarily.
Yeah, but it definitely comes in in the background
Mm-hmm.
more so than like you're smelling spices and smelling
Sure.
as much rye, but definitely in the finish, like these spices are really developed,
Mm-hmm.
especially as you know each sip, the finish is getting longer,
Yeah.
and I'm picking more of that up. So yeah, that's neat. That's neat. All right, we're going to start from this side then. This time, I think I'll start the rating for the 2024 the Hearts Release Wood Finishing Series 112 proof. I like this quite a bit. I think for this one, I'm going 7.75 for this.
Wow.
Matt, what do you think, man?
I enjoy it more than the first one. I'm gonna be 7.25 on it. It drinks better than the first one does, but honestly, I feel like it lacks, in my opinion, a little of the complexity the first one had. But the first one was just a little too structured, a little too tannic for me. So this one is a better overall drinker. This is something I would have multiple glasses of, where the first one, kind of like we mentioned, maybe just have one glass or it'd be something you do on a flight. So I do enjoy it more. I just wish maybe some more of those caramelized butterscotch notes carried over more on the palate. But 7.25, still a good bottle. Very enjoyable. So,
Can I pass my rating until we have the next one?
no.
No. Okay.
No. You don't have to answer,
Good
Brandon. I
try.
got that.
Good try.
I'm gonna go 7.25. I think I'm 7.25. It is drinking better than the other one, but there's one thing about so far through these first makers kind of hits like Four Roses. Like it's clean, it's neat. You get a few of these flavors on your palate, and it's just structured and straight. For me, it's clean, it's approachable, it's enjoyable, it's clean. It's not like those. For me, it's not giving like those deep, heavier, sweeter mouthfeel and all that. It's like
Sure.
neat and clean. 7.25 for the clean aspect of it. It's just clean. It's every day,
It's not dirty.
not dirty.
All right, Mike.
I'm also gonna agree with Burnie. I'm gonna go 7.75 on this.
Man, Mike, come on, dude. Absolutely.
I think
Ian's
for
over
me,
2 for 2, y'all 2 for 2.
the nose on it is really, really unique in
I
that
like
you
it.
get a lot of sweetness. Like you kind of like when you walked into the Spot and Bucky's where they're like got the sugar nuts and like the candy pecans
The
and
beaver
everything.
nuggets.
Yeah, the beaver nuggets. Like that's what you get. I think the nose is fantastic. On the
Never
palate,
thought
the finish on it is really, really unique. It sticks with you. It coats your mouth. It is a little tannic. I agree with that, but I think that's kind of one of like the complexities of it, that it kind of gives you that warmth and stays with you. So overall, this is the bottle that I've had for over a year now, and I've been knowing the moment will come when I finish it. I don't want that to happen.
Might be
'Cause I don't have
tonight.
another bottle. I don't have another bottle secured. So
So so do you feel like it's lost any of the energy or anything since
Absolutely.
the crack?
absolutely.
I'm telling you folks, the myth about the bottom of the bottle being weaker and softer, it's not true with every bottle.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm glad. Well, one, let's finish this up. Then we're going to talk about that in between drams. So, Burnie, wrap this bottle up,
Indeed.
and I'm briefly going to touch on
I surely will, folks. This is it. It is the 2024 The Hearts Release Wood Finishing Series. It is 112 proof Mike and I give it a 7.75. Alonzo and Matt give it a 7.25. There you go. We're matching up. It seems like, the two of our palettes, each of us has a palette twin tonight, right? So good stuff. Palette twin.
Yeah, that
Was that a little
That's
crazy?
fine.
Okay.
A little borderline.
Okay. Well, it passes. It's not too bad.
So
All right.
the
Water
only
rinse time, folks. Of course.
water rinse.
And
And
we'll
then
chat.
I'm
between
going on
grams.
this conversation with Zoe because you spoke on this a couple weeks ago, and I felt like I fully disagreed, but you added one word in this time where we're on the same page. Said, you're calling it a myth, and I disagree to say that it's a myth that for bottles, when they get low, they lose things. But for some bottles. Yes.
Some bottles.
I just don't agree that, like, to me to say it's a myth means it doesn't exist at all.
Okay.
Where I agree, but one of the things I like to bring up, I think so much of it has to do with the cork. And what type of cork they're using, how well that cork seals, how well that cork lasts over time
Good point.
of months to years of sitting in the bottle, whether or not you're keeping that cork moist or not. That's kind of a thing all on its own. Some people like to tip their bottle every now and then to keep the cork moist. Some people don't. Not going to get into that because that's another conversation for another Whiskey Wednesday. But
Good point, though.
I think that plays a lot into it as well.
I mean, as well as if you got it in a cold room, warm
Sure.
room.
Sitting in sunlight or not. But yes, it's not true for every bottle. But there are bottles that I definitely think it's true for. So that's all. Glad. Look at that. Me and you agreeing on scores and now
Everything,
on
man.
Wow.
questionable
of the day.
takes on whiskey products.
I tell you,
So.
it's a beautiful thing. It's a new night, folks. I mean, these guys, their palate is matching up. Then they have they're adding so much more depth and richness to tonight's tasting event on Whiskey Wednesday.
So, bottle
So-
3?
So dope stuff. No,
Yep.
not yet.
Oh.
We gotta run a little commercial real quick,
Oh.
folks. We're gonna run a little commercial.
A commercial.
Absolutely. And what is this commercial for, folks?
I'm going to take a lucky guess and say the Countdown Club.
Man, you would be right.
No way.
You would be right. Absolutely, folks.
I haven't seen this.
It is literally Chat's Countdown Club. We are running it every week. Go to chatsdc.com/countdown.
Have you memorized the saying yet?
No, I haven't yet. No, absolutely. You can see it here on the screen every week. We pick bottles from $1, $5, or $10 denominations at this point. And if they don't sell at that discounted price, the price will drop by that denomination each week until it does sell. So we're up to week 6 on some items. As you see here, week 6 is for the $10 drop, a $60 discount right now.
Like, I gotta get that Calumet.
That Calumet is a
Hey,
fantastic
but
deal
look
right
at
now.
Rio.
Yeah.
His price on
The
Rio.
Rio is a great
So-
deal.
99.
So Calumet is on week 6, so that's a $60 discount because it's part of the $10
Is that
drop.
16 yet? Oh,
Yeah.
And we have
That might
a
go home.
couple more bottles of the Penelope Rio, folks. That one's on week 5, so $50 off the regular $149.99 price point. I expect once I make this last Instagram post about it, and or tonight here from Whiskey Wednesday, that will be a done deal. So, the saying is, the longer it waits, the sweeter the deal. But wait too long,
And it might be gone.
might be gone, folks. So it's a fun way to stay engaged with
Wow.
chatsliquors.com. Go to chatsliquors.com/countdown. We'll see $5 drops here. We have a
It's in
few
the $1.
products
In the $1.
here,
That's it.
and the
Oh,
Four
the
Roses.
Four Square.
I'm sorry, the Four Square. I'm sorry. Yep. Four Square 2010 12-year-old exceptional cask is down $20 off of its $119.99 price point.
Any
We're in week
person.
4 on that.
Any person who's a big whiskey drinker, you're watching Whiskey Wednesday, that is your rum.
Yeah.
Right there.
No doubt.
If you're watching the show because you like whiskey, but you hear people talk about rum, I mean, we're talking 12-year-old rum at 120 proof.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're a whiskey drinker, Foursquare is what changed my mind on sipping rum several years ago when I was like, oh, you don't sip rum, you put in a cocktail or whatever. Foursquare That is
Nah.
killer rum.
Dos Madeiras changed it for me. 5 plus
Well, it
5.
doesn't matter. Dos Madeiras ain't on the Countdown Club, so.
Yeah.
And even the
Wow.
Penelope Weeded, that's
Yeah.
a fantastic
All right.
price.
Yeah, on the
Absolute
$1.
It's
bargain bottle because it's great in a cocktail. It's great on its own. If you are someone that's like, I don't really like whiskey because it's a little too strong.
yeah.
Weeded bourbon is perfect, nice and sweet.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, folks, if you can find the wheated, I bet you won't find it at $33.99. It's on week 6 on the dollar drop category, so it's $6 off the regular $39.99 price point. And also on week 6 in the $1 category is Rocktown Vodka 80 proof, regularly $14.99. Folks, it's $6 off, so
Shout out
$8.99.
I'm thinking about that Manhattan bottle.
I mean, that's
Really.
getting close to Velikov price points, folks, for a quality small
Quality
batch
craft distillery.
craft distillery.
That
yeah.
is a big thing I want to throw in, just because Arkansas is always going to be near and dear to my heart, I guess.
his
This
home
is
state.
Rocktown is doing a grain fermentation on this. This is not buying, a neutral grain spirit and redistilling in house. Rocktown, I mean, you're telling Burnie selling this for $8.99
Yeah.
currently on this bottle, and that's a grain fermentation. They're mashing 100% corn, fermenting it in house, and distilling it to make that vodka, which is unfathomable at that price point.
Indeed.
You like that? We're using big words
I
tonight.
know, man. I barely was able to repeat
Take
it.
out the fact that I'm from Arkansas and that's the first distillery I toured, but it's a good vodka. It's a good vodka.
Yes, it
Especially
is.
sub $10. Come on now.
Indeed. Now, mind you, everyone, the Countdown Club is for online only. So don't come into chats expecting that if you pick up the bottle off the shelf, it's going to ring at that price point. This is online only. So check it out. Some amazing products are currently there, and more will be hitting the Countdown list.
All sales final.
And all sales are final. Absolutely.
Must be 21 to purchase alcohol.
There you go.
Is this like the end of like the radio commercial where you just say the lines really fast? Like
Side effects are.
Side effects are instantaneous death.
For sure. All right. Well, are we on the 2025?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
2025.
2025 Keepers release wood finishing series from Maker's Mark. It's a 109.2 proof point, so we're dropping a couple
Oh,
proof
yeah.
points.
We got those.
But this is now the 2025, folks.
Oh, whoa!
This guy's crazy tonight.
come on, help yourself.
I'm Paquito.
So as
Oh, but
as
keep
reported,
going.
I'll tell a little bit of the story on this one. So 2024 was, like I said earlier, picked by the distillery team. This one is picked by the warehouse team.
Yeah.
So the team that hand rotates all of their barrels got together to pick the staves that they wanted for this release. So the Keeper's release, the notes on it on the bottle, bold oak toasted sweetness. So I'm really intrigued for the notes on those who said, oh, it's very oak heavy, very tannic. This is the one that really, in my mind, after comparing it to the two a couple months ago, this one was extremely oak forward. So I wonder if you feel like the other one was, how you feel about this one.
Now, I just want to chime in. I'm going to let them know, so I'm going to talk for a second. I think a key point to bring up where we are mentioning these tannins is we are talking oak finish, forms of oak finish, and on a wheated whiskey. So wheated bourbon, let me be even more clear. I personally believe wheated bourbons are a little more sensitive to oak characteristics and to taking on the flavor or tannic value of the oak. And so it's a little finer line to tread on a wheated bourbon rather than, say, a rye style or high rye style bourbon. There's a lot of finesse to it. Maker's Mark does a fantastic job of it. In no way implying they don't, but I think that's sometimes where, especially when you talk about stave finishing, very finicky, very tricky, and it's a tight rope to walk, especially with a weeded bourbon. But Maker's Mark is the best in the game when it comes to stave finishing or even most finishing oak finishes on weeded bourbons.
That's a heavy comment right there.
But-
The best.
So one of the best. I
One of
believe I
the
said
best.
one of the best.
Okay,
I
one of
believe
the
I said one of the best. But maybe I said the best. But what you get on the nose, Burnie?
Well, this one I think is a bit more, I would say, open and kind of a fruit forward way, almost a little bit of stone fruit in there as well as the oak. So there are some slightly sweeter kind of peach-esque notes that I'm getting right now.
I can see some little
Yeah.
little
nectarine.
apricotish. When you say stone fruit,
Apricot,
what do you mean when you say
nectarine.
stone fruit?
Peach. Mm-hmm.
Peach, apricot.
I get the- I get the
plum.
apricot.
Kind of
Plum counts as something.
Plum, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of in as well, kind of near the core, near the seed.
The
right?
yellow,
Those
the
things
yellow
look-
peaches.
But they're the things with the big seeds in them. Like that's your go-to for stone fruit. They got that
Yeah.
big pause hard seed in the middle of it. You know.
So does that make avocado fruit?
See, okay. See, that's where I knew you were going to hit me with some stupid remark, and I shouldn't have even helped you.
Yeah, technically it is.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
another, that's another whiskey Wednesday.
that's another. We're too
Anyone getting
sober
any
now.
tobacco on this? I kind of get like when you get more of like a
Something rustic, maybe?
no, more of like an aromatic tobacco. So not kind of like a Virginia blend. It's like be more of like your old school, but like when you get into like the aromatic tobaccos,
I can see it
a
slightly.
little bit sweeter, fruity.
The
yeah.
wind's blowing
Yeah.
over
I mean,
through the dry
If
house
it's
and all
blowing
that.
from
Yeah.
the east, and
next time you're in Georgetown, stop into Georgetown Tobacco. They have their own blends of pipe tobacco in the back. That's what I'm getting. Like,
Yeah.
aromatic pipe tobacco.
I see what you're saying now. Now that you mention it,
Aromatic pipe
just a little bit of a
tobacco. We're jotting that down.
moist tobacco.
or
Nope.
drive to your near 7-Eleven and get some Levi Garrett loose chewing tobacco.
Okay, y'all drop a check in the both Georgetown Tobacco and Levi's. Yeah, drop a
Levi
check.
Garrett.
Absolutely.
No, I like it.
Very approachable aromatically, folks. I would say probably even more of a more broad aromatics, especially with the fruit profile. You aren't getting as much of the wood
Have you
intensity.
taken a sip yet?
I haven't yet, but that's just the nose. Let's see what we got.
Yep.
It's very oak forward.
On the nose, I do not.
There's sweet on the first on the palate. A lot of sweetness for me.
I don't think it's overwhelming. Like it's not like you're chewing on a piece of wood. Like I think Knob 18, like that is one where like you taste it and you're like, am I drinking wood chips? I don't think it's that. oaky.
Everybody keeps scaring me from buying Knob 18.
It's good. It's good. It's a great bottle, but it is very oaky. If you don't like the oak aspect of whiskey,
Damn.
maybe stay away.
That's the second person that told me
About what?
to maybe stay away from Knob 18.
Oh, we've done it. Drew's brought it before on Whiskey Wednesday. We've done Knob
I might have
18.
missed that one.
Have you had Elijah Gregg 18?
Yeah.
I think they're very similar. If anything, though. Is that a okay? Don't mind him. Knob Creek 18 is a little higher proof than Elijah Craig 18 year. Both of them, I think, definitely show how susceptible you are to oak and tannins. I don't think either of them are bad pours, but definitely both of them are not pours I'm gonna have multiple of in the same night, or if you're doing a flight, end with that pour. But yeah, just personal opinion though.
So I got a question for the group. Now we're 3 pours in. All of these have been high proof. Do we feel like maybe our palate's gotten used to it, or is it me that like this proof, while it's proofed down a little bit compared to the 112 was before, it's a lot more approachable compared to the other two that we've had. Like I don't get really any proof on the palate.
I feel like they, whether we're at 109 or 112, I think they're the proof is maintaining.
Yeah.
I haven't got a drop off from neither one. Oh, maybe like I said, a little bit with this one, but they're still a palate warmer for me.
Yeah.
I would honestly, I mean, I think all of them drink extremely well for the proof. I actually would say 2024 would be the easiest
The easier drink.
of out of the three. I would say 2024
Yeah.
heart release.
I would say this one's
Would.
more balanced than the first.
But it would go 2024, 2025, then the private selection would be my order, just on ease of drinking and proof and everything like that. That would be my order. But
I think the proof is the same. I think this one's a little more balanced. Maybe it has more fraction.
the 2025 that we're on right now?
Yeah, it's more balanced
Okay.
than the first two.
And you thought the second one was more balanced than the first one.
Yeah,
So we're getting even more and more balanced.
yeah. For
Maybe by the end we'll be perfectly balanced.
me. Hey,
It's possible.
That's all things should be.
There you go.
What do you got, Burnie? You've been handling production side of things. So
Yes,
what
I
do you
have.
got?
Yes, I have. Yeah, I think the approach, and speaking kind of towards what Mike was mentioning there, that couple proof points down, aromatically, like it's so welcoming. I think even in the initial palate, same. I still got a little bit of the kind of oak and some of the spicy oak characteristic, but for me it was more voluptuous stylistically. There was so much more abundance of flavor there that maybe it was initially maybe a little bit more approachable, right? Maybe even than the ones we just had by a tick. That doesn't mean that I like it more though.
Sure,
I
sure.
thought the other one was really good.
Yeah.
I thought the other one was really good. I like the structure of that one. This one maybe left me with a slightly sweeter profile at the finish, but for me, the complexities weren't quite as finely dialed in as the one before.
Sweeter on the finish of this one.
For me, it seems
this
like
is way
there's
sweeter.
a sweeter finish and
Way less oak.
less complexity.
Way less oak.
Yeah, you still have the spiciness. It's still like a level of complexity on the finish, but I think the other one just was maybe a little more interesting, dialed in, with a profile that I just found to be just a little more intriguing.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
you want to go first?
I can go first. I'd be more than happy to. I'm gonna be a 725 on the Maker's Mark 2025 Keepers release. Correct? Keepers?
Yep.
It did get two, nose was beautiful. The front half of the palate I really enjoy. It is the back palate finish of this one is, to me, borderline overwhelmed by the yolk. Borderline, it's not, but it's close. It is right on the edge to me. For people who love, say, drinking something like Knob Creek 18, Elisha Craig 18, I think this is a much, not necessarily too much easier to find, but easier than those to find at a more reasonable price point. And if you enjoy those styles of whiskey, I think this is a great alternative for something that's more inexpensive and a little higher proof as well. It is just pushing that edge for me. So, 725.
All right.
Zoe?
I'm going 7.5. I think basically because I liked it more than the 7.25. It was a
Okay,
cool
okay.
2024, so it automatically pushed me to 7.5. I
Fair.
did like the fact that the sweetness on the finish was lingered more than it did in the 2024. So for me, there was a little less oak for me on my palate, and the sweetness carried longer. I still think that it was a little warm on my palate for 109.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
Overall, I did like the 2025 release better than the 2024 release. So I'm gonna go 7.5. I liked it more than the
Okay.
2024 release.
I'm going to
Mike?
match Matt.
Oh,
I'm going with 7.25 here.
Wow.
I agree with you. The oak on it is very powerful. That's why I think it takes a step down, at least on my palate, compared to the 2024 release. The things I really love about it, to where it's now overwhelming, I think the proof is really approachable, and the finish on it really lingers. Like, if you enjoy heavily oaked bourbons, like the Knob 18, the Elijah 18, getting into even like the like even 20, 25-year stuff, this is a great bottle for that. But for me, oakiness is kind of off of my favorite like notes on
Agreed.
palate. So
Agreed.
that's why it's stepped down. But still a fantastic bottle.
Yeah.
I know there's a number of places where you can find it. Right now, if you're looking for something like that, it's a great gift for Father's Day. It's unique. So, yeah.
and to round it out,
Indeed. I like that. I'm going to give this one a 7.5, folks, for the
now swap.
2025 the Keepers release wood finishing series. It's at 109.2. I kind of spoke at how I didn't feel that the complexity on the finish was as great as the 2024 release that we just enjoyed. Yes, the Heart release. But I still think that the approachability is there, the quality is there. Once again, these will skew a little bit more wood heavy, so expect that, folks. Expect it to be all of them to be a little bit more wood heavy. Of course, you have higher ABV on these. They aren't out of control. We're talking about 110, 109, 112, and that type of thing. And so quite approachable. Definitely, it's a fun flight to have, especially if you're a Maker's Mark fan, and there are a lot of you out there. So, yeah, I'm giving it 7.5. That is so. Once again, the 2025 The Keepers release wood finishing series, 109.2 proof. Mike gives it a 7.25, as does Matt. Alonzo and I give it a 7.5 each. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited about this flight because I would have to say Maker's Mark goes in that category where I've had the least amount of their stuff besides the original. And I'm happy to go through this flight to actually taste and learn and go through different variants and finishes and products they've released, limited release, because I only really had regular Makers.
Indeed.
And the unique thing about, if you're local here to DC, is DC is one of the only areas where you can actually purchase directly from the distiller. So they have a whiskey drop. That's how I was able to acquire these bottles. It comes with a quarterly membership you pay. They ship you these unique bottles, and there's some cool perks that come with it. So it's definitely fun if you don't want to worry about the hunt and try to track down these bottles. The Maker's Mark whiskey drop is a unique thing if you're a DC resident.
So, going to do a quick water rinse.
Yeah.
And since we got someone pointed out, might as well, because Mike made a remark about a good Father's Day gift. Y'all might notice we got a whole different setup going on here, but someone shout out the Nika lineup sitting over my left shoulder, but we got quite the lineup sitting behind us all the way around, from Nika Days, Nika Kofi. We got Nika straight from the barrel, the single malt, Maji Kayo. I might be butchering that, don't mind me. And then as well, we got a couple new releases
some rare characters
in here at Chats. The Rare Character Limited Release Bourbon and Rye, the 2025 Batch 2 of Rare Character Bourbon and Rye.
I gotta get a second bottle of that rye.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And hiding behind Zoe is that Penelope Rio, also a killer Father's Day gift at $50 off on the Countdown Club. I mean, you're not going to find a better price than that in DC, just letting you know right now.
ChatsDC.com/countdown is scrolling
Yep.
along the bottom of your screen.
This rye has changed three people's mindset on rye.
On
By
rye?
the way,
Okay.
folks.
On the rare
No lie,
character.
people that say I do not like rye, they're like 3 people. They were like, "Yo, I like this. Pour me a little bit more."
Yeah. That
This
rare
rye
character
is delicious. Once you get even like a third of the bottle down, it gets even better.
opens
Someone
up, huh?
shouting out Mike in
opens up.
here.
Mike,
Oh, all right. Luis, thanks for
There you
watching.
go.
Indeed. Welcome, Louise. All right, gents.
Moving on to the
Oh,
fourth.
Hey, man, this has been such a good time, right? It's been such a
somebody
good time.
said I'll be here tomorrow for that bottle of Rio.
You got to purchase online.
Grab it online. There you
You
go.
got to go online to chatsdc.com. Go to the Countdown Club because the $50 off only applies to online purchases. Obviously, pay for it online and then pick it up in store. But do not come in here not having purchased or anything and expect to grab it off the shelf and be able to pay in store at that price. Get it online. Do it right now. You're saying you'll be here tomorrow for it. Go online right now. Check out for it. Show up tomorrow and
How
pick
much
up
is
a
that Rio
bottle.
again?
He's good.
$99.99.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
that's
Pre-tax.
I think that's cheaper than Safeway. that is
It's cheaper than
great
a lot of
deal.
places.
I said
That's
it.
a great
I
deal.
don't think you can find it that cheap in District of Columbia.
But
You might
only-
not as well in Maryland or Virginia, but I don't speak on them because we're in DC.
Only for those who go to the Countdown Club, and it's free. This is a free club, folks, for now.
For now.
So, go ahead and be early movers on it and get grandfathered into the free, based on your purchases. So don't wait around, folks. Don't wait around at all.
And the biggest, we're going to get in this next one, but the most purchases made on the Countdown Club happen during Whiskey Wednesday.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
just letting you know, we are talking live right now. As you're watching this, we're live. There's 3 bottles of Rio.
Literally.
3. And
Remember last
there's
time we
been
mentioned it, we were going to be getting it in,
yes,
but we didn't get it.
during live, we've sold out of Midwinter's Night's Dram, talking about it
remember
on
that.
live. There's
That's what's
other
missing up there. I was trying to figure out what's
there's
missing up there.
other bottles that have literally sold out during the live while we're actively talking about it. So just saying to Chef J Duke, you're saying you want it. Just saying there is wait too long and the deal might be gone. We're gonna leave it
I
at
love
that. It
it.
says it right there on the Countdown Club.
Shout out to Mike. He has a heavy hand.
So
Shout out to
now,
him.
Yeah.
fourth
Appreciate it.
whiskey.
Appreciate
What
it.
have you
Appreciate
put
it.
in our glass and spilled all over my phone?
Sorry, my bad. It's hard to reach
It's
over
good,
there.
it's
And
good.
yeah, so this is the Maker's Mark Cask Strength. So Maker's Mark 46 Cask Strength. So Maker's Mark 46, one of their flagship bourbons, really fantastic. As a reminder, if you're new to joining us, we were talking earlier about the wood finishing staves that Maker's Mark uses. So this is going to be all Maker's Mark 46 staves. So on this, we're going to get notes of dark fruit and long finish with baking spice.
Indeed.
Wow, folks, the nose on this is great. There's some cacao,
A little bit of dark
The
chocolate.
color is great too.
dark fruits.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
a bias
Yeah.
I'm a bias for dark
Yeah.
extraction whiskey. I'm biased for it.
Yeah, I agree. This
You're
has some.
saying darker,
like-
darker the juice?
Yeah.
The whiskey?
Yeah,
Okay, there it is. He said it. He said
darker
it.
the
He
whiskey,
knows.
the better the flavor. Wow, folks.
There we go.
Things are going left, folks. That's
We're 4 whiskeys in. Man. It's about the time.
4 high proof.
4 high proof. Everything is like what 109 over.
Yeah,
You know?
we're at the highest yet at 112.5
Yeah.
on this one.
Oh yeah, you're right. 125 on this. Yep. Yeah, no,
this
this
is
is a
amazing.
very approachable nose, right? Where you
Some honey.
you're starting to pull up not only you pull up ripe notes, but more in the honey, maple, caramel
Yeah.
arena, right?
Hey,
Secondarily, the apricot there, the toasted, maybe the walnut,
I think most of the nuttiness of the flavor I've smelt tonight has been like a streamline like walnut.
Okay.
I don't think it's almond. I don't think it's peanut. I think for
Walnut
me
pie.
it's walnut. For me.
Yeah.
Walnut pie.
Yeah.
Walnut pie?
Like, does that even exist?
I mean, yeah.
Walnut pie. You never had a walnut pie?
I mean, people eat pecan pie.
Indeed.
I had plenty of pecan pie.
Well, man, this is nosing.
I just
So
ripped it up.
soft
Now
and
it's your
subtle.
duty to actually bake it, Matt. And I mean, so
No, I'm sorry.
You know,
it's your duty to bake it now. I just thought it a
Walnut pie.
Walnut pie.
well, I'm gonna
Let's try
say
it.
me and Ellie, but it's mostly her. I was just there for moral support. We once were on our Zoe vibes and made a chocolate pecan pie with E.H. Taylor in it.
Mm-hmm.
And this, though,
Chocolate pecan.
but like you were saying cacao, and now we're talking walnut pie, which doesn't really exist, but in his head it does, sure. Pecan pie does. And yeah, like this dark chocolate pecan pie vibe.
You up to giving it a try?
What?
You up for the challenge?
Oh yeah,
A
there you
walnut
go, some
pie?
walnut pie.
I think I have to go on YouTube and find walnut pie. I don't think I've heard
I
of
think
that.
it's gonna be a blank search.
Wow.
You have to, yes. It's gonna
I
be
guess
your
we're
thing.
gonna do it like pecan
Yeah.
pie, but just with walnut. I think I would like that better.
I mean, Bernie's saying he knows what it is, so why don't you just ask him?
Yeah, in my head. I mean,
Yeah,
okay.
let's see if we can pull up a picture. See.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going to Google it right now.
Walnut pie, folks.
Oh,
No such thing.
English. It's
No such thing,
See?
bro.
walnut maple pie.
They
that
could-
fits
so they make-
with that fits with the tasting notes.
So they
You
make
said some
it-
caramel, some maple.
So they make it just like pecan pie, just with
Wow,
walnut.
look at that.
it looks terrible.
I don't know. That looks
think
That
that
looks
was
good.
You think
It
that was
doesn't-
terrible?
We
okay.
served that on.
Because it
said
doesn't
that
have...
French vanilla ice cream. Some
Oh,
white.
You think that looks
man,
terrible?
On
I don't think that looks
after
terrible
like
at
a
all.
heavy Thanksgiving meal.
So
That
pecan pie is the color. Like, the color seems off of how light the nuts are.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Okay.
anyways, this is
Cinnamon Brother Dre.
fantastic.
Great, he's gone. But I's here. so-
Fantastic.
That pie
That looks-
slack.
That looks
That is-
delicious.
Yeah,
Ghetto-
talk about
that is the most ghetto statement I ever heard.
That E.H. Taylor chocolate pecan pie, man, I'm telling you, it was off the
That
chain.
looks delicious.
Hey, he say nuts and pie. Oh my.
Going back. Okay, it's a family show. It's a family
Yes,
show.
I know. I already read it. I'm just enough of an adult
That's
not to
good.
say it out loud on camera.
Right.
Someone has to
Right.
be mature
I think
here.
we've officially
Right.
ventured into Whiskey Wednesday after hours. You know.
Well,
Wow.
I tell you, by Whiskey 4, it's teetering into
The
that
doors are
space.
locked. Yep.
Indeed. Indeed.
I don't
Shots
know.
after dark.
I'm enjoying this though.
That's
I
good.
think this has been the best one on the table yet.
Okay.
I
A little sneak peek into the rating.
I think their regular strength on this is fantastic in a cocktail. It's really complex. It's got that baking spice, that like cinnamon, clove, allspice that you want that will really stand out like a Manhattan, an old fashioned.
Yeah.
I know we're a couple weeks past from Derby Day, but great an elevation like a mint julep.
Okay.
So I
A dark
in my
mint
mind,
julep.
yeah, in my mind, Maker's 46 is one of their best products, and the cast strength version is even that much better.
Bernie, can you think you can find an age statement quick or no? You know, you got an
On
age
this?
statement made.
Let me see. I have the tasting notes online.
Maker's Mark is real big on non-age steak.
Yeah,
Okay.
Except
see
on this
anything
next
here.
product
like I
we're
say,
going to
I'm,
move
like
to.
I say, I'm learning.
Yeah.
So,
This
but at
last
least the notes
product.
on this. So the aroma, deep caramel, like Bernie was talking about, almond, dark fruit, and fig. The taste, dark fruit and tobacco,
Tobacco.
rounded with caramel, and the finish, long, dry, and warm.
Mhm.
All right.
All right. So
Different.
yeah, we'll call it. It begins with the standard Maker's Mark, which is typically aged for 6 to 6.5 years.
okay.
And that's based on taste rather than a fixed age, meaning that they're shooting for a blend that represents an age of around that 6.5 year, which is solid,
For sure.
age for most of your bourbons that you will find, great approachability, where you still have the sweet tones there. You don't get into mature flavors that you might inch into, especially in that 10, 12, 14 year realm, nor are the flavors like overly mature. So you're taking that base and you're adding and you're combining and complicating it with staves or secondary oak, then you can usually come out with something that will find more balance because the youthfulness is still there. The sweeter tones of the grain is usually still there in that type of age. So yeah, we'll call it like 6.5.
What's kind of the
Not
proof on
to
regular?
have Maker's Mark coming at me.
I ain't
Yeah,
and we're at
For that,
one
you know,
One
Yes,
twelve-
the mix.
once
112 point
Guesstimates.
something.
112.5.
112.5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let me stop me if I'm wrong. So this is kind of like the non-proof down version of the regular makers. Because
46.
this is cash
Yeah.
Regular Makers 46.
Yeah.
46.
Which
Yeah,
is the
this
French
is-
oak.
French oak.
Yeah, this is cast strength. It's not barrel proof. It's cast strength, so it's still proof down just a little bit. But
Well,
what's the? Well, you work at a distillery. Correct me then.
so
What's the difference?
it can be, so typically the term would be foolproof.
Okay.
Means it's proof down to referencing barrel entry proof. Now, cask strength is typically interchangeable with barrel strength or cask strength being barrel proof,
Okay.
barrel
Interesting.
strength.
I thought there was a difference.
Full proof is the industry standard. And again, notice my verbiage here. Industry standard
Yep.
of referencing proofing a product down to barrel entry proof.
Okay.
I have not done any research into their products, so I'm not trying to say any
No,
fact.
I think.
But
you might
I
be
would
correct.
read this as this is a barrel proof product.
Right.
Burnie, if you have any corrections or any other insight you'd like to add.
I'm not going to add anything to that. I'm going to let it ride, brother. I'm going to let that ride.
So you want
For
to start
sure.
first? Ratings?
Where'd you get this bottle?
You're the
This
distiller at the
bottle
table.
came
through your
with the drop.
But at the
So-
same time,
Costco. has
hey
it.
man, if there's anyone in the chat that wants
If it's
to
recent.
add to that, feel free to.
Shout out Rhonda Fox said love. Love.
Yo.
Don't know what you love.
Say that, man.
Maybe it's just everyone's sitting at the table, but I don't know
That's only
because
3 loves. Let me see.
yeah, we're kicking him out. The love started at Mike,
Gosh.
and it went love, so he's left
It's
out.
kind of left to right.
I'm
If the
always-
camera's looking at us, it's left to right. So like you're kind of.
But also, why don't you?
I
I'm
tell
gonna
you,
call
it's
you
just
out,
how it
REF.
goes.
Why haven't you come by and Ellie here at Chats? Just saying,
Wow.
it is what it is. Let it be. Calling you out.
I'm changing the
Yeah.
ticker to REF, calling out instead of
Yeah,
Maker's Mark
go ahead.
46 French.
Go
Oak
ahead.
Cask.
Calling out. Miss
Wednesday
Fox.
after hours.
Indeed.
Miss
Indeed.
Fox. Is
Indeed.
Ellie still in the chat?
Hey
Yes.
everybody.
Okay, moving back to whiskey.
I'm gonna make
Indeed.
a
Follow
big,
persist.
bold
Wait a minute.
statement.
Instagram on Instagram. Persist. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
So it's got a strong statement.
And follow Rhonda
Persist.
Lane Fox, the only probably verified person with a blue check mark that comments
Esquire.
on Whiskey Wednesday. Esquire?
Yeah. Absolutely. Monterey Fox Esquire. Absolutely.
Oh.
Go ahead.
All right, so what's your statement?
Okay, Bernie's had too much whiskey. Back to Zoe.
No,
Matt's
that's real.
not gonna like my next statement.
Oh, I
Let it
don't.
ring. Let it
I
ring.
don't like most things you say. It's
Let it
okay.
ring.
I'm jumping out here like don't care what anybody has to say about this next statement. I'm gonna
Okay, I'll
actually
stop.
call this the baby. If there were I don't want to use the word watered down. That sucks.
Okay.
If there was a baby of Jack 14 and Corey Hill, I think this is that for me. I say it's gonna be a bold statement. I say it's gonna be bold. I say it's gonna be a
Speaking
bold
truth.
statement.
Speak your truth.
I think this delivers a
Bold is right.
if Corey Hill or Jack 14 was at a lower year, I think this is what it would be. At a lower year.
Again.
That's age.
But we're going back.
I'm gonna go with this one.
If
I like it.
If.
775. I'm trying not to push the 8 button. I'm gonna go 775. I like this a lot.
Good.
Gotta get a bottle. It's like sweetness. It handles the proof. Finish on the palate. It leaves you ready for your next sip. Yeah, I'm 775. This was good.
Okay.
Nice.
This made me a maker's mark.
One of the worst takes of 2025. Go ahead, Mike.
I love the energy, and I agree. This is a fantastic bottle.
It is.
I feel like I can't break away from like the 0.25 like increments that we always do. So because I don't think it's quite as par with my previous ratings, I'm gonna put this as a 7.5.
Okay.
But if I could rate it whatever I wanted, it'd probably be like 7.7. Like it is fantastic pour. The price point is fantastic. It's approachable. The proof is excellent. It's great, neat. It's great in a cocktail. Like you really can't. Like we were talking before the show. In my opinion, Maker's Mark is probably one of the most consistent distilleries in the market as far as price and what you get. Not all of it is like groundbreaking, worth flipping, but for what you pay for, it's a fantastic bottle. It's a unique bottle, and I think this is a good testament to that.
This bottle delivered.
Ruth in.
Oh,
Got Ruth watching. No
Shout out to
pressure,
Ruth.
Mike.
Matt,
No, we going.
what's on me? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What's on me?
We ain't skipping this.
Yeah, I think it delivers. I'm within the wine realm. I would consider myself a Francophile in this French oak stay finishing. It's something that I quite enjoy. The structure, the finesse, the depth of flavor, the balance.
Yes.
8.
I was trying not to push the 8 button. I was gonna go 8. I was gonna go 8.
8.
let's go.
I was gonna go 8. I really was. I was like, these guys sitting on
Y'all
the
talking
panel,
about it?
These guys on the panel gonna look at me like I'm crazy.
Nah, this
No, crazy
I'm
went out
okay,
the
but
window
I'm
when you
okay.
said this if Coy Hill and Jack 14 had a baby, which will
And,
not let you die.
like,
Let me ask you
how
the
does
this.
that
worst take
make an
of
8?
2025.
Like,
Have
rust.
we tried a blended Coy Hill and Jack 14 before?
No,
So we don't know.
No.
We don't
we
know.
don't know.
Like, but how is that going to be a 7.75?
Because it's not comparable.
Right. Well, that's one thing.
Well, also
If it was, how was it going to be a 7.75?
also said if Coy Hill and Jack 14 was at a 6.5 year, this could be that. We will miss a lot of
Repeat
flavors and structures.
Repeat that.
If Coy Hill or Jack 14 was at a 6.5 year, it would be like this.
Yeah. If Calumet 16 was 4 years old, it wouldn't cost over $100.
That's not the point we're making, Matt.
That's how
That's not the point. we're making.
terrible that point sounds. So.
No, the point is at 6.5
Well,
years.
that
this
said,
delivered like.
Alonzo gave it a 7.75.
Yep.
Matt, it's on you.
Let's see how biased you are.
Give me a 7.5.
On the same page.
7.5.
It's that simple.
I should have said 8.
So let me ask you
should have
this.
kept your mouth shut 5 minutes ago.
Okay, wait a minute. Before you ask.
All right.
For sure, where are we at? We because I mean the ratings have been dropped. Everybody wants to see it scrolling now, and I must just go ahead and let it scroll. Let it scroll. Let it scroll for the Maker's Mark French Oak Cask Strength. Thank you. Maker's 46 Cask Strength. This is a French oaked, folks. Mike gives it a 7.5. Alonzo a 7.75. Matt gives it a 7.5. I give it an 8. I think it's the most complete whiskey on the table tonight.
No, you have.
We're about to get to
That
what
bottle
we say was the best
Outrates
last
the others,
statement.
folks.
That bottle's
I'm going to
fire.
hold that statement.
Till the next
I'm
one.
going to be about it.
So before we go into Cellar Age,
Ooh.
which before the night
That is
started,
great.
Matt was the most excited about this. Let me ask you this, Matt.
About what?
Cellar
About
Age.
Cellar Age. He was most excited about Cellar Age.
This is the final product. We're going to finish the
Oh,
night off.
the final part.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Just wait. Wait a
We
minute.
gotta wait. Okay,
Alright,
so let's just
Just
totally
wait a minute.
change
I mean,
the
can
topic.
should we do a did we do a water rinse already?
No, we haven't announced that we're doing it. We are actively
Okay,
doing
well,
it.
if we're gonna move to Cellar A, I have to give it its due.
And
I
if
gotta
it's
put
gonna
the
be
ticker
We're
expired-
not gonna pour it yet. We're not gonna pour it yet.
I gotta put the ticker up even before we start talking about it. We got to put the ticker up. That's number
Can I
one.
give a little
Yeah.
commercial in?
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see
Fire.
why not. But
Fire.
at the same time,
Okay.
yeah.
Clearly,
Go for
clearly,
it. Go for
yes.
it. Do I need to do anything on this side to make the commercial work?
No.
Okay.
Just shout out, everyone, mark your calendars for Saturday, June 14th. Exact location coming soon, but Saturday, June 14th, Lost Whiskey will be in DC doing an event in Logan Circle. There will be barbecue and whiskey. Saturday, June 14th, mark your calendars. It will be a basically all-day event. Stay tuned, hopefully next week, for exact location or address. But make sure you're free Saturday, June 14th.
You got to buy tickets or
That's gonna be a wild day to do an event in the city.
You got to buy tickets or anything?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Juneteenth.
No. That's the day of the
No.
military parade.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sitting there thinking 19th.
This going to be crazy.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but it's in Logan Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we in Logan
So
Circle.
no tickets or nothing?
I don't know if it'll be pay when you get there, or if it'll be you can pick one or the other. You buy a ticket and it's all included. I'm not sure. So more info to come. Saturday, June 14th, Logan Circle, Lost Whiskey. We will have Mr. Founder, Whiskey Man, and Chef himself, Nick Chiaffi, throwing down on some barbecue.
I don't know. This better. I might need a little bit more. Yeah, that last maker's got me up. I'm a fan now.
Yeah, barbecue with Matty Barrels. Sure. Whatever Matty Barrels means. Yeah, I'll take it.
Mhm.
Why not?
So, folks, go check it out. Logan Circle.
We'll give more details
That is-
in the next week or two, but also follow Lost Whiskey Distillery and Lost Whiskey Barbecue. We'll be posting more info there as well. But as that information comes, we'll be sure and share it with the chat's family via Whiskey Wednesday.
Put
Indeed.
that up front.
Indeed. It's gonna be such a beautiful time. Such a beautiful time.
What are you saying, Matt? How much you love Maker's Mark? Is that what you're saying? That's what it sounds like.
Those words are yet to come out of my mouth last I
folks.
checked.
So this
What?
Cellar age.
Here we
A
go.
little history on that.
Let's
2024
show it off. Cellar
Cellar
Age 2024 limited
Yeah.
edition,
Big history.
119.3
Yeah.
proof. Let's go.
So a couple years ago, Maker's Mark created one of the first LEED certified limestone cellars, and with that, they were wanting to create like a signature release, and that signature release is cellar aged. Last year was the first one with a blend of 14-year and 12-year. This year is a 85% 13-year, and then 15% of it is 12-year.
I didn't know Makers had juice that old.
As I said, it's a 12-year-old.
No,
This one is a 13-year-old.
just a 13-year.
It's 85%
13.
13-year-old.
The age of the whiskey is the youngest whiskey in the bottle.
No,
Yes. That is a federal law.
Technically, it has to be.
Yes.
Yep.
Federal law.
technically.
Yes. If
If
there's half of 1% of
Mhm.
2-year-old whiskey in it, that whole bottle is 2-year-old whiskey.
technically,
If this was 2-year-old whiskey and it tasted this good,
No, I know.
Technically.
I'm just saying.
but it's a
technically,
fantastic bottle.
The
Yeah.
technicality.
But yes.
119 proof.
That's going off camera. Before this started, I made that remark, and he told me I was wrong, so I had to throw the jab in on camera. But yes, no. I mean, in this, I would go as far to say this is the most hyped Maker's Mark release. It is also the most expensive
Yep.
Maker's Mark release to date. But to give perspective on this one, the 2023 release, when Maker's Mark announced this, there's two big names that they basically were thrown out in social media blogs, the whiskey world of, is this the bottle to compete with William LaRue Weller and Weller 12-year? Because they're putting 12-plus-year-old weeded
That's a big
bourbon whiskey
conversation.
on the market. And that is, I'm just throwing, that was the stir of the whiskey community, is this Maker's Mark kind of throwing their hat in that premium, over 10-year-old weeded bourbon world.
well, we could open William LaRue next week and compare it.
And so,
Why
That's
not?
a big statement right there.
it's a lot of talk. I mean,
That's a
I'd be
big
eager to see
statement
that.
right there, ain't it?
I got a lot of nice bottles on my bar and come from my bar. So
Yeah, this man just has it like laying in his bedroom floor or something last I checked.
It's somewhere.
Yeah.
so the cellar, and Bernie, I'd be interested to get your taste first, kind of like as a wine guy. This being cellar aged, consistent temperatures around 50 degrees, where you're not getting the stereotypical like heat, of a rick house with most bourbons. With a consistent temperature,
Right.
I think we'll see less of those oak,
Right.
notes coming out because there's going to be less angel share on it. But I'm curious
Yeah.
of kind of what.
I think it shows
Well,
in the color.
Yeah.
Yeah, the color is gorgeous.
It's funny you say
kind of a
lighter.
red.
Say you say
note,
wine, right?
But
Again, some
There's-
type of Go ahead, Brian. What's your
it's all good.
name?
There's such kind of this harmony, across the flavor profile.
Mm.
The big
Yeah.
note, where
Oh.
where before any of the raisins, any of the vanillins, the sweeter kind of extract, the cinnamons and all, they may have been a little bit more disjointed than a couple of the others. Like this is that pure kind of fig Newton-esque,
You're
aromatic,
gonna add the
right?
Newton. Okay.
Yeah,
A little bit of like baking spice in there. Yeah.
the bacon spice is
Breadiness,
there,
yeah.
but not in a one-dimensional way. Like when you first approach it, it's just super this kind of fresh. Open up the pack,
Yeah.
the cookie, the complete recipe is made right. So that's what I definitely get from this, just from the nose. It is so beautiful. Like you want to just want to capture that flavor and just
Yeah.
like consume it, right?
Yeah.
What's the proof point? Do you know?
119.
119.
This gives me a nose like this was like a secondary barrel finish. This gives me a nose like this could have been like a
Yeah.
Cabernet finish cask or something
Which
port sherry finish on the nose.
Yeah, it's got some sweetness to it.
It gives
yeah.
me a secondary finish barrel characteristic.
But I think a lot of that probably comes from the cellar aging process. Of, one, I'm sure due to the lack of swings in temperature, humidity, barometric pressure, and all those things being down in that cellar. I told you we're using big words tonight. Part of why this needed that double-digit age statement versus the other products where we're talking most commonly, probably looking at that 6-ish year. This needed that double digit because it's not getting those huge temperature swings and things like that. But similarly, I think it gives you a completely different flavor profile because in theory, it's a completely different aging process.
Absolutely. You don't get those variants, the exercise of the whiskey, entering, exiting due to temperature differences and humidity differences that you might in most, rick houses in Kentucky, because there's that constant. It's literally just kind of ticking away, being absorbed by the oak. Nothing harsh, nothing that is the push and pull, the give and take. It's just that harmonious aging process that really creates that type of synergy on the palate.
Yeah.
And wow,
This gives me like this crazy sweet / like port finish on the nose.
But I definitely agree with you, Zoe, on this.
it's
Maybe,
savory, right?
Yeah.
It's
but
kinda
am I
savory
going
and-
port or maybe more like sherry? I don't, but like definitely a finish. This is very comparable.
I would, if you didn't tell me what this is, I would have said, "Oh, this is finished in the secondary."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of like a citrus note to it, like a really sweet orange to it. Maybe quite orange wine, like a Valencia orange.
Oh.
Like thinking about like a
Valencia.
similar, like the Penelope Valencia's got that really strong orange wine note
Yeah.
to it. I don't get that, but like there's a little bit of like a brightness that's not as zesty as like a lemon or a lime or even grapefruit, but it's like that sweetness on it.
I can see that.
That's got like a bright undertone to it.
It's like right underneath the dark fruit character.
Yep.
Like it's like hidden a little bit, but it's there. Like that
No,
Valencia orange thing.
well, sure. In the aromatics, there's something
Levels.
high tone.
Yeah.
And it's
You
something
know,
lower.
Yeah. So I would say that And it's not alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Many times you're going to perceive alcohol kind of as that initial kind of higher tone profile that will give you many times more spices, the alcohol, the anise that you may have mentioned early on, and that type of thing. But I think there is this purity and this kind of really nice arc of flavor aromatically and on the palate that's that does kind of put me into, I see where you say maybe orange spritz, then for me apricot,
Orange spritz.
then for me maybe cinnamon apple almost, and then like fig Newton still.
Wow.
Smorgasbord.
But you mentioned the savory characteristics, a little bit of saltiness, a little bit of
I've been waiting to ask if anyone else was getting this salty
yeah. So that's
characteristic.
what puts you into like the
PXO.
yeah, the sherry-esque
Oh,
realm.
almost like I said, I would say, maybe sherry over port. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's neat.
Why it's 11 makers though.
And so
He's
I would
11
even
now.
say,
Turn into belief.
I would even say that salinity transfers in almost a slight, aromatically at least, I have to taste it again, but a slight mineral tone.
Like limestone
Like a little limestone minerality. Indeed.
Crazy.
Limestone mineral.
Crazy.
Folks, makers is jumping off the table into the glass, and I'm a makers fan. I'd never known much about it. It wasn't a thing I would be in the restaurant like, oh, pour me makers. You know? It was never one of them things. I never was drawn to it on the shelf. I think for me, it's one of those things where their core makers, it's been grandfathered in. Yeah. So there's not like a lot of excitement about it. If you were born X amount of years later, you're not looking to go grab makers. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But going to their extensive limited series in the second half of the table, it's like, oh, now I got to go find these makers' products because the original, which would have been here, that's what my father and granddad drank. So that's not gonna make me go look for it. But these are making me like, okay, I gotta get some makers limited release.
Yeah,
I need to put some of that on my.
I keep coming back to
Definitely.
it's probably one of the more consistent distilleries, and I think it's really slept on. And the thing that I find unique about makers is that they are trying to figure out, and I was on like a live tasting they did for this the 2025 release as part of the whiskey drop, and they're saying like, hey, we're really wanting to create some new expressions, kind of like what a lot of distilleries are doing, but they're trying not to lose the soul of who they are as a distillery, which I think there's a number of distilleries in this day and age that are losing the soul of who they are.
No, you're good. You're good.
They are losing the soul of who they are, and they're staying consistent to the oak staves while still delivering a really interesting product. Fascinated though, they did announce last month that they're coming out with the very first wheat whiskey, and I'm really interested to see where that lines up compared to their bourbon.
Without a doubt.
So, I in no way mean for this to come across negative towards Maker's Mark, because I fully agree with everything Mike said. I think from a consumer standpoint, there's two main things. Of one, everyone thinks a Maker's Mark is standard Maker's Mark, which there's nothing wrong with, but it's nothing to write home about or nothing to impress your friends. But the other thing, this is a slippery slope to be on. I think Maker's Mark probably triumphed head on more single barrel selections, more so than anyone else, but to an extent that can come across as oversaturating the market. It's very uncommon to walk in a store that offers single barrel store picks that doesn't offer a Maker's Mark single barrel store pick. Yes, while they're single barrels, you'll hear us here at Chats tell you the amount of differences and variety you can get between two different single barrels. There just is a level of, I think some people become a little numb to it
I get that.
due to this borderline oversaturation. Again, not in a negative way, because people love Maker's Mark. The product is good. Otherwise, stores wouldn't be purchasing these single barrels and putting it on their shelves. But just from the consumer aspect, I think there maybe is a little bit of overwhelmed, maybe, from that aspect. But I do agree. I mean, Maker's Mark, I don't think there's a bad bottle you can pick up or buy from Maker's Mark. But yeah, just
Yeah, I agree with that.
My
I agree
two
with that
cents.
sentiment. No, I think it's true that there is a lot of store picks out there, and it's hard to know. Like, if you don't read this little guide that they give you in the bottle, here, if you want to move
That's
that camera.
perfect.
Wait,
That's
yeah.
perfect.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's this
Okay.
little guide.
Wait,
Let's see.
hold
Hold
it, hold it,
There
hold
it
it.
is.
There you
There
go.
it is. So
Back up just a hair,
wait,
maybe,
I'll do
maybe
this.
move
Hold it still.
around.
Yeah.
bright.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
You
the
got
little-
that.
That guy's a
I
genius.
did it,
That
yeah.
guy's a genius.
So there's this
Yes,
little guide that
indeed.
comes with the
Let's
private
try that
selections that will let you know like what you're going to be tasting. So if you're ever going into a store and you're like, okay, what am I going to be tasting here? Look for this little
Okay.
guide. You can also find it on you can find it online. That's kind of fits to what your flavor profile is. But I would say overall that most of the store picks I've had have been hits. There's a big box store here in this area that has plenty of a store pick, and I think it's fantastic for the price point. So anytime it's, I also think too, anytime, regardless of the store, you can find a store pick, you're supporting local. Well, not Safeway, but
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
else,
Yeah.
you're supporting local. So when you
Yeah,
come to
that's true.
Chats, check out the store picks. Local liquor store, check out the store picks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indeed.
So time to rate.
Indeed. Time to
It's
rate, man.
2024 Cellar Age.
Let's
Um,
do it. This is it right here, folks. It is the Cellar
I
Age
think-
2024.
Then Burnie
Limited
has to
edition.
start off.
I already started off, man. I don't think you started off yet.
I
No,
have.
We all started off.
We
I
all
started off
have.
first, so
We've
I'll
done the
round us
whole-
down.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. So, did you
And
start
Mike
off first?
brought,
Start
yeah,
off.
Yeah.
Mike
Okay.
brought the bottle.
Oh, yeah, Mike's
Everyone's,
turn again,
everyone
yep.
start off
Yep.
one of them. Mike
Yep.
brought the bottle. We'll finish back full circle.
This has been a lineup that I've been telling Bernie and Matt and Zoe about for months now. I think
Yeah.
probably since like
True.
March.
True.
Hey, I got this lineup. Would love to taste it. It'd be really unique for Whiskey Wednesday.
True.
We
Uh,
dropped the ball that night. Bernie wasn't there.
Yeah.
well,
This is neither here nor there.
It-
But here we are.
thank
We're,
you,
we're
Mike.
joining in the moment.
neither here nor
I
there.
think that the selection you get to see, just like Zoe said, like you get to see the complexity of Maker's Mark that you may not have picked up from just like picking up a bottle on the shelf. This ends perfectly with their like signature release of Cellar Aged. The notes, the palate, the proof, the finish, really rich. It's got that really unique, bright, citrusy note on it, some dark chocolate, some nuttiness to it. 8.25.
Nice.
Great way to end out this tasting for sure.
8.25. Woo!
Absolutely. Oh,
I
Mike,
know you're-
yeah, I have to agree.
Oh,
Feels like, Mike, if you don't mind,
Please.
feels
Whiskey's meant
like,
to
you
be
know, as I make my rating, I need to have a little bit of my glass.
Maker's Mike, your wife commented. Maker's Mike.
Can I double back? 'Cause
Maker's
this is my
Mike.
shit right here. This is my shit.
I know
Oh,
he'll
excuse my
make your mic.
Whoa, Bernie.
Whoa,
You just said
whoa,
it's PG-13.
whoa, okay.
You just said it's
Easy,
PG-13.
easy. Okay, let's reel it back. You've given your rating. We're moving on. Bernie's lost his microphone privileges, even though it's his show. You gave
No,
him
what's
eight.
up? No, that's
This is
love. That's
beautiful.
love.
I need
Yeah.
a bottle of this in my
So, this is a very complete whiskey. The depth of flavor married with the finesse factor. The finesse on this whiskey is out of this world. Not only is it just charming aromatically at the highest proof point that we have on the table, 119.3 proof. We love cask strength. We love high proof,
Yeah.
barrel strength, X, Y, and Z. But literally, there is no volatility of alcohol at 119 proof. I don't care if, you know, you started with 112, 109 before. At 119, this has zero. And that carries on through the entire trajectory of the palate, front, mid, finish, where it just delivers such a harmonious flavor that gives you the fruit, it gives you the wood, it gives you some toast, it gives you some toast box spice, it gives you savory, it gives you deliciousness. I'm really enjoying this, folks. I'm going 8.75.
Whoa!
8.75.
I saw the live
Jeez.
ticker change. Wow.
Jeez.
That's incredible.
8.75,
Folks,
That's
I'm going
It is
8.75 for this one.
so.
Did not expect that.
I already know my rating. I just have to tell my story in 2023 when this bottle was released. I came and sat here at chat and told Burnie about it. And I was like, you need to see if you can get it. And this man pulled up on a screen, saw this isn't, I mean, it's the most expensive bottle as far as MSRP or retail goes for Maker's Mark. And Burnie pulled it up. I sat here talking to him about it. First release. I was so excited. And Burnie's like, oh, I want to get some. I'm going to think on it. And next thing you know, he thought on it, and it was all gone, and he couldn't get any.
Thought too long or thought wrong, huh?
Similar to the Countdown
grandfather
Club.
used to
Wait
count
too
it.
long, and it might be gone.
Yeah.
But Burnie waited too long on Cellar Age. Even though I was here telling him. He didn't even know about it. My wife's in here saying, I never forget, you're right. And I'm also never wrong. Glad we're all on the same page.
Oh, wow.
So, Maker's Mark Cellar Age 2024 release. Fantastic bottle. It's the best product from Maker's Mark I have ever had.
Drum roll what?
Give me an 8.25. Give me an 8.25.
Mm-hmm.
Respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe, round us out, close us out.
Finish off strong. Whiskey Wednesday Maker's Mike edition.
Maker's Mike.
I was trying to be modest with my last review on this one, so this is going to kind of mess up my ratings.
Yeah, I know.
So I like these in verse. But I have to rate it higher because I already rated lower. I'm gonna go 8.
Solid 8.
Solid
8.
8.
If you could make an addendum to your Maker's 46, what would you?
8.2.
8.2.
Whoa!
Okay.
Yeah.
And
You would
were-
make the
what were you on
Maker's
that? You were
46
on-
cash strength?
Okay, wait a minute.
Well,
Before we
you
move
go-
on.
Whoa.
Before we move on too far, right? I mean,
On
the
Maker's
ratings
Mark
are
Cellar
in.
Age.
The ratings are in, folks.
That's true.
Did y'all see those ratings drop? This is it right here.
8,
It is
8.25, 8.75.
Cellar Age 2024 limited edition. It is 119.3 proof points. Gosh, I gave it the highest rating at
It's very
8.75, and I think
good. You're
typically
it
the
demands
toughest
all
critic.
of those. Yeah, usually.
It's a little more
Mike
depth of
and
flavor.
Matt give it an 8.25. Alonzo comes in with an 8. He wants to be modest. He doesn't want to give up too much.
It's very
8
delicious,
points.
folks. If you find it, go get the bottle. Don't mock me wrong. I just like the 46 cash ring better.
I don't think you can find this bottle anywhere.
I mean,
But
There's
sure,
probably
if
a
you
couple- there's probably a
can.
couple places
Yo,
the
you
46
won't
is
want to pay
better.
the prices, but yeah.
46 is better. I'm just saying, there's a little. They both handle the proof right.
Oh.
They both have good balance. It's a full flavor through the finish and all that.
He needs to be cut off.
It's just that this has a little more depth of flavor to it.
He needs to be cut off.
This is still stylistically like flavor, but like still clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
this
we
this
need to
gets dark,
kill this
funky,
bottle.
and like
I don't know why we're drinking anything. So we need to kill this bottle.
Wow,
I
that's-
think this is the uniqueness about Whiskey Wednesday is that
that's Mike's bottle. You don't want
that's
to kill
right. Listen,
Maker's Mike.
whiskey is meant to be shared. I said this multiple times on this live stream.
who
Whiskey is meant to be
said
shared.
we
You
should
just must
kill this
not
bottle
listen.
tonight?
But I think this is the uniqueness about us doing Whiskey Wednesday and the different voices that come in is that everyone's palate's different, and you're going to identify based off the notes that we're talking about in each of the bottles. Of like, oh, I like bottles like that. I like tasting notes like that. And you're going to find something. You're like, you know what? This is worth trying out. This is also why you should come out every Friday and every Saturday for the spirit and wine tastings here at Chats. 1, you're going to support local. 2, you're going to meet some friends. Normally Matt, Zoe, myself are here. Always Burnie's here. But you're going to meet some friends. And lastly, you're going to try something you probably have never tried before. And that's what Spirits is all about.
Indeed.
You're going to try something new. You're going to try something different. And you're going to find out what you like. Don't let anyone bully you into saying you should like something. Because at the end of the day, it's your palate. Enjoy
It's your palate.
Enjoy what you drink.
Your palate, your choice.
Your palate. I like that. Let's clean that. Your palate, your choice. Jesus. We just told empty glass.
Respectful.
Give me some of that corner in that bottle right there.
Yeah, give me some of that corner. Whoa, hey, get out of here with your whoa.
I'm sorry. Actually, I'm a
Hey, folks, Mike couldn't have said it better.
Pour your heavier pour.
I mean, that's the perfect way to
What about Mike?
put a cherry
I expected to kill this bottle tonight, I think.
Well, y'all
on Whiskey Wednesday,
That's a man.
May 14th, 2025.
I ain't gonna drink no more.
For sure.
Now, of course, with that said, it's been such great conversation. I'm so happy that we have a quartet across the Whiskey Wednesday live tonight. The setup is just a little bit different. Thanks for bearing with me, because I said, no, we need everybody in one frame. And so we had to kind of sit up a little bit higher and bring the table up a little bit more on a standard 53 gallon just to make it happen. But this was a special occasion because Mike came through. Zoe came through. Of course, Matt always comes through with his talent and energy and all, but Mike pulled this Maker's Mark tasting event together with Zoe adding an important bottle to the selection, which Mike actually had another version of this.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he had another version of this.
We got a private selection.
Absolutely.
I wasn't needed for real then.
Well, he didn't bring
glad you're here.
it. No, you filled the void. He didn't bring it tonight, so.
Indeed. I mean, that might be another occasion down the road where we taste them side by side. It's kind of, we welcome them back to the table with that selection. But gosh, it's been a phenomenal time. Just the insight, that we have around this table is important. We are coming from a true collector and, someone who, of course, is excellent within his own field of study, work, and so forth. And Mike, and just always brings such a beautiful perspective to the lineup.
Whiskey group back in Florida.
There you go. Absolutely. He is, as Matt said, if you didn't hear him come through, because he kind of whispered it to me, but yeah, he's had his own whiskey group in Florida. He's now part of the DC whiskey scene. You can find him here at Chats on every occasion that he graces his presence with. But Alonzo being within the distribution realm, right? He's had over a decade and a half now within distribution.
Easy.
Beverage distribution. And so his knowledge is vast, and his ability to acquire bottles is above and beyond for sure.
Yeah.
Matt, hailing out, like you heard it a little earlier from Arkansas. Indeed, but spending some time here in DC before he and spending time here at Chat. So he's been a feature here on Capitol Hill and within the Chats community. Definitely an asset as well to kind of what we've been doing on this Whiskey Wednesday for 2 years plus now.
Yeah.
Right before we started doing Whiskey Wednesday, a full probably year before we even started taping, right? But moved away to Bozeman, Montana, and worked within distilling out there at Bozeman, Distilling in Bozeman, Montana, came on back to DC, now with our friends at Lost Whiskey Club right here in Fairfax, Virginia, and doing amazing things, continuing the love and passion around bourbon production and bottling, and in a unique small batch arena. And of course, I'm Burnie Williams. It's
you your
B-Dub.
You need
So I
no
gotta give yours?
introduction.
B-Dub.
sure.
But you're talking Burnie Williams, hailing from the Williams family, which is a complete
Hailing.
icon and trailblazers as entrepreneurs, as business owners in the Capitol Hill area, and people who have been foundational supporters of Barracks Row, of the community of Capitol Hill, and of particularly from Burnie Williams, someone who is not only I refer to as an encyclopedia of spirits, whether it's wine or whiskey, anything in between, but also someone as sitting here with 3 young men, a mentor of his community, a mentor of men and women around him, setting an example for his children, setting an example for young husbands around him, for young fathers around him, and just carrying on his father's legacy for the icon that him, his family, and shout out Ophelia as well, if you are familiar with Ophelia's flower shop too, not just his father, his mother, the entire Williams family. He is just continuing to carry on and grow that legacy for Capitol Hill and Barracks Row
The
specifically. And so that is who has brought all of us here sitting at this table.
Cheers to
And in this business is all thanks to the Williams family.
Wow.
I got some
Hannah's got a mic. He might shed a tear, man.
I got some
I tell
good
you,
news. I got some good news.
He hits.
I got some good news.
Okay, bet. Let me just
Well, I can't get my good news.
get you the good news in 2 seconds. 2 seconds, but shout out the Williams family. That includes my kids. Shout out to Danielle, my middle child, my beautiful, just loving middle child. She's graduating from 8th grade this year, like literally a couple of weeks from now. And she just had a birthday yesterday. So happy 14th
belated happy
birthday to you, Danielle. To my firstborn, Gabrielle. She has led the charge, has set the stage for kind of my position as a dad. She was the one who, I tried it out on. Of course, I was blessed to have a fantastic father in my life for the first 21 years of my life. God rest his soul. But Gabby, I bought the best that I knew, but at the same time, she set the stage of what truly resonated with being a girl dad. I have 4 girls and 1 boy. Shout out to Landon. But 4 girls, and I'm so proud of her. Gabby is graduating from Elizabeth Seton High School, literally in 2 weeks.
Amen.
So my first high school graduate, and heading to Towson University, studying biology. She wants to be a physician, following her auntie's footsteps. My dear sister, Dr. Opal Williams. Indeed.
Legacy. Talking legacy.
There you go. Absolutely. My second child, Camille, had her 16th birthday in April. So about 3 weeks ago on the 24th. So happy birthday. My baby girl, Janelle, has her birthday coming up next Tuesday. So I'll be shouting her out on Whiskey Wednesday.
Gemini's in your family.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Is it Gemini or is it Taurus?
I can't remember what cut off.
They're Taurus, I believe. I think, yeah, Taurus. Up until like the 21st, something like that.
Okay.
Then it's
Taurus, Gemini.
Yeah. So I have 3 Tauruses.
Sure.
And Janelle has her birthday coming up. She'll be 10. Shout out to Landon, my only boy, who is now 12. But Gabby's birthday, she'll be 18 this summer. But it's a celebration, folks. Like literally what I'm saying right now is just a celebration of my birthdays, my kids' birthdays, But shout out to Lauren, gosh, their mom,
Yeah.
who like birthed just 5 amazing children. And literally, they all are the combination of
Agreed.
of the 2 of us in our families. Like we
Agreed.
see the generations,
Agreed.
Camille and my mother, I mean, you look at them, just unbelievable. Landon and his granddad, Scott, he came out looking like his granddaddy from day one. Danielle, spitting image of Lauren. Gabby, everyone says,
Yeah,
"Oh my gosh, you
yeah.
look
Oh,
just
yes.
like you."
Yes, yes,
I said,
yes,
"Well,
yes.
in a feminine, much
Yeah.
more beautiful way."
Respectable.
Your mom's an OG.
Absolutely.
Your mom's an OG.
Yeah, and
Mom's
Janelle, I think, is definitely, her mom as well. She and Danielle are twins.
Mom's
So
an
shout out to the kiddos. Shout out to Lauren. Happy Mother's Day belated. Shout out to my mom, Ophelia,
Absolutely.
and
Shout
she
out, Mom.
holds it down. Happy belated Mother's Day. All my aunties, my cousins who are mothers. Shout out to them. My little cousin Sabrina just graduated from NYU, degree in biology as well. She's following her mom's footsteps. My cousin also is following the physician realm or route. So
Mom's stomach.
continue to drive on.
Shout out,
And yeah, the fam is strong. It's strong.
Mom Stennett.
Shout out, Mom Senate.
Mama Zoe.
Mama
in the
Zoe.
building.
Indeed. Happy Mother's
Mama
Day.
Mike.
to-
Mama Mike.
Nice.
It's a good feeling for all these beautiful women around us that's doing amazing things.
It is.
Happy.
It is. It is.
Family mess.
There
But
you
Burn,
go.
I just got
Absolutely.
confirmation.
What's up, Julian?
You are one of the top stores to drop the Sable whiskey. Guaranteed
Woo-wee. Oh,
in
did you
store.
hear that?
Confirmation, you are solidified as a.
I didn't even share that with you. Oh, you heard it through the
I'm
ranks.
telling you, I know 100%.
You heard it through the ranks.
Brought
Huh?
to you by some of the finest African American actors. You are a.
Is that a sneak peek for Friday whiskey tasting?
Wow.
I'm not saying that. I'm just letting you know, like when it drops to the DMV, Chats will be one of the go-to places for this brand new whiskey.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I probably should have dropped that note there early. I'm sorry, but
You
it's just I'm just happy.
I
you
mean,
know
I
what I'm saying?
think it's already
You
hitting
did.
because I saw it on my algorithm today.
you saw on the
So,
algorithm?
I see
Yeah.
it's coming its way
I'm telling
through.
you, in a
It's
few
making
weeks
its
it'll be
way
here.
through, Yeah.
And, I probably shouldn't have dropped that hammer, but I did.
Hey,
It is what it is.
well,
Does it-
whatever the others that have been dropping it as well, it was like, yo, you gotta check out Chats.
Last time I told Bernie I need a bottle of a whiskey, there was no follow through. But I'm gonna say it this time. This bottle drop on the first release of this whiskey. I need a bottle. Brought to you by Harold.
Hey, dicks.
What's his name? Perinu,
Parano.
Malcolm D. Lee, Tay Diggs, and Morse Chestnut. All you ladies that like Morse Chestnut and Tay Diggs. I'm just saying, there's a lot of you ladies out here like,
strong.
that drool out the mouth and say y'all
Oh, strong.
go support.
It's
all I'm
strong.
saying. Go
It's strong. Hey, this Friday, we're gonna have a big surprise. I was trying to keep it super low key. It's gonna be a super surprise.
What's the surprise?
Literally, we're gonna have to lock up the doors because those gentlemen will be in the house right here
did
in
not-
Chats
I did not know.
this weekend. They're in town this weekend. They're gonna be dropping by Chats. We're probably gonna have to lock the doors because I don't want. I'll probably have to hire security, get some MPD outside because
T-Bone.
these women gonna knock the windows out of the shop to get in here to the likes of
I got
Morris
my bottle.
Chestnut,
Wow.
Tay Diggs. Come on now. The hell. Oh my gosh. Hell. And Malcolm D. Lee, I love that he really made that comeback story. He was like the guy that was being kind of the little, softer-esque character in the first,
That's the one that was dancing.
I mean, he married one of my favorite characters.
Say the right name.
What was her name?
Say
What
the
was
right
her
name.
name?
Say the right name.
What was her name?
Don't throw no brother under the bus.
Mm.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Candy. Absolutely. He married Candy from the
Candy.
original. Yeah, you remember the Best Man? So anyway, he came back. His in the Best Man 2 or 3 or whatever it's on now.
Wow.
I mean, he made a comeback for sure. So it's amazing. Like literally, it's going to be a phenomenal time.
908.
We're going to drop that. So, but please don't. Please don't. I don't want everybody showing up, man. I don't want everybody showing up. Breaking my windows.
Yeah.
Knocking down doors.
I think
studs coming through.
what's said in Whiskey Wednesday After Hours is kept at
It's
Whiskey
only for
Wednesday
Whiskey
After Hours.
Wednesday after
Yeah.
hours. Indeed,
But
indeed.
Those who watched, you got the sneak peek.
But Sable Bourbon, folks, we'll have it in stock on or before Friday, and we'll have some autographed bottles from the founders and owners.
I need one.
That include the 4 gentlemen that we named, from Harold to Malcolm to Morris to Tay, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. If they all drop by, or if just a few of them drop by, you never know. But there's been epic times here at Chat.
I need a fine bottle and one bottle open.
Yeah, I mean, we had Fawn Weaver in the house. I mean, it's like, yo,
it's my
we
girl.
had Fawn Weaver. We've had Taquini Mandela in the house. I mean, the
Senator Tim Kaine.
Senator Tim Kaine.
Oh, he signed that bottle
In
for
the
me.
house.
Yeah, I would never forget that night.
Absolutely.
You've had Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah
Thomas.
Thomas, see,
house.
I got them bottles signed.
in the house.
Folks, you want a bottle signed? You want to meet these people?
Victoria D.
Icons.
Butler in the house.
Miss V.
Absolutely.
Forget the first name, but we had
Come on now.
Mr.
Andre
Kofi.
Houston Mack in
We've
the
had
house.
Mr. Kofi himself.
Kofi from Tanisha.
Had Nick Chiaffi.
Chiaffi from Lost Whiskey Club
Founder.
in the house. Come on now. I mean, the list goes
We are-
on
this is a
and
destination
on
to
and
come to.
on and on. But having these superstars in the house, folks,
Man.
let me put them back up there so you ladies can drool. Having these
Oh,
superstars in the house,
Yeah, Brian.
Oh, it's gonna be epic.
Time to check out, man.
I'm gonna have to do about 100 push-ups that day, so I can stand next to
Push-ups, you
them.
mean
And
What
You
a
have to go to
forget
Zoe's
the punches. I
Taylor
need
and
the
get that
shoulders and the-
schmedium to
what
wear.
a what a
yeah.
wild ride this
I'm
was.
wearing a blazer that day. I'm
Love
wearing
it.
We're almost 2 hours of this tasting. This is
But it's over
an old
now,
time
folks.
Whiskey Wednesday.
It's over
A
now.
lot.
Hey, I'm raising the glass. Hopefully, everyone has something in their glass.
Oh, God.
If not, put something in your glass.
5.
I'm raising a
4.
glass to Mike. Mike Moshin is in the house, as well as I'm gonna give him 4 glass raisins.
This was
And
a hell of a
Alonzo, you
night.
came through with your bottle
Yeah.
as well.
I like that.
But thank you, gentlemen, for providing this selection
Cheers,
tonight
gentlemen.
on this Whiskey Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. We're going to see you in 7 days, if not before. Cheers, everybody. Happy Whiskey Wednesday to you.
I'm finna make some Maker's Mark cornbread.
Mm. Buy Maker's Mark, folks. Makers, send us a check. Peace.
I like that. Yo, this